Yes, we're back for an episode of Game TeaTime. I'm here with Ricardo, the one and only, the great and mighty, the most powerful.
Yeah, not WoW maker. I'm not making WoW.
Yeah,
So it's,
that's good. And I'm
interesting,
KB,
yeah.
and we're here to discuss tea and games, or something like that.
Tea and time, yeah.
Yes, tea and time. So yeah. And so we actually got to play Ricardo's game last time. Check it out. He actually has some updates too, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, yeah. I started getting back to it because, I was in Brazil for like 3.5 weeks. So it was weird getting back to it, kind of, discovering some of the mechanics again, like testing it a little bit more. I wrapped up a few changes I wanted to make and started testing it around. And I actually found that video I sent you. So basically, I have a mechanic where anything that's movable
Yeah.
can also be teleported back to its source. I mainly made
Ah.
it so you don't get locked out of a puzzle, right? Because then you can just shoot it back
That's
and do
actually
it
really
again.
good. You always need like a reset option because those puzzles,
Yeah,
people, you know how it is. People will do things that you've never seen possible when testing the game, and you're like, "How did you get that piece
exactly.
there? What is it doing? There's no way back. Reset it."
Yeah, and with that, like, so I realized a few things while testing that mechanic. The first thing was it could also be used for a puzzle.
Yeah.
So the next thing I want to do actually is a pressure plate.
Oh, that'd be
So
good.
what if you have a block that is on top of a pressure plate, but
Hmm.
you need it to get up or to get across something? But then you get to the door and you need to shoot it back so it's at the pressure plate and opens the door, something like that. So it's the
Interesting.
only puzzle I actually noted down.
All
the
right.
That's what motivated me to create a page in my Excel to just detail the puzzles I want to
That's
make.
good. That's when you know it's official when you start excelling it and putting the.
Yeah, but then like the default behavior on Unreal when you get on top of like an actor with the controller is that you're attached to that object. So basically, if you're on a moving platform or anything like that, you're moving with it. But what happens if that's teleported across the map?
Not good things.
You're actually you're teleported with it,
Oh no. That's not
and
good.
like, whoa, it could work.
It could be, yeah, but maybe like it
So,
solves it before you need it to.
yes, I was thinking of now that's not a bug, it's a feature.
There you go.
I'm implementing a way to switch it off so I can basically know which blocks have that behavior. Otherwise, like, who knows what could happen, right? Because it also
I don't know.
happens if you're on top of a platform and you can it's not that you can jump on a moving platform that you moved forward. It's that you can jump on top and just tell it to move. So it's kind of exploitable
Just a little
because it
bit
can go
again.
across any gaps infinitely.
Yeah, goes back to the you never know what the player can do, and they'll find some way to exploit it, and then there you go. Now they beat the game in like 10
Yeah,
minutes. Those like crazy
exactly.
speed runs. I still to
Yeah,
this day want to understand how people
yeah,
find those little glitches and hacks where they go to a certain wall and they run to it in a certain angle for a couple seconds, and it launches them through levels, and they win.
yeah. It's funny because I've seen some of those develop as well. Because like I used to follow Ocarina of Time speed runs.
Yeah.
And around that time, I also watched a few Wind Waker speedruns, and there was this barrier that basically takes you to Ganon at the end, and there was no way across. Like there was a lot of like random things that stopped you from going through. Even
Yeah.
if you got through, it shot you back.
Okay, that's
But
good.
like years later, like I think like 4 or 5 years ago at most, they finally found a way to go through it.
Finally. That's wild to
Yeah.
me, bro. What? People still trying?
I mean, it's even crazier. Like I was watching like a speed run of Wind Waker,
Yeah.
and they do it on the original GameCube. And the way, like the fastest route uses a Game Boy. like you plug in the Game Boy
Yeah.
because you can do that with the GameCube. You can like spawn items and stuff, uh, and there's something with the GameCube uh, and GBA like interaction that you can exploit. I don't remember exactly what it does, but it allows you to kind of yeah, you can spawn. I think you can spawn like a ferry. You can buy a ferry. So part of those like hovering glitches is that you're technically dying. So you're hovering, and then you use the Game Boy to get a ferry, so you respawn at the same like something
What?
like that.
Okay.
So you can you basically come back to life, right? Because you're the the bomb hover glitch. You're like dead, and
Yeah.
I think you just mash A or something, and you keep going up, and then you need to basically undie to be able to keep playing. Otherwise, you die and go back to your last save, right?
How did they figure that out with the Game Boy? It's just like just trying it out and
I
like this
mean,
works better.
yeah, I think after a while, it's just instinct. Like, oh, this sounds like it could have some bugs. Let's play around with it. The Ocarina of Time ones are way worse because like it's like memory manipulation. Like you do some inputs and you're like writing code. There's like that level of exploitability.
Wow.
Um,
Interesting. How do you
like you
feel?
go into the first dungeon and you teleport to the credits for like memory manipulation. It's that level of broken.
That, what? People are just on something. But, it's whatever. It's whatever they find fun and interesting. Now, I have a question for you. When it comes to games, how do you feel about like using LLMs for the NPCs? Think it's cool. I think it's like something we should do, shouldn't do.
That's quite interesting actually. So I've thought about it a few times. I think there are ways that would take the fun out of the game because it would be too powerful. So if you use like implement an LLM that actually learns in real time
Mm-hmm. Like,
with the player,
yeah, because it gives
so
like
it would
the.
be awesome, but it would be unbeatable, right? Like it, I was actually watching an interview with some chess grandmasters, and
Mm-hmm.
like they cannot beat the chess bot on their phones, right? Because it's ridiculously powerful.
Maybe they're just not good enough. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I think what I meant more was like just like the dialogue, like taking a regular
Mhm.
NPC and then giving them
Yeah,
life where they don't have the generic dialogue. But
that would
actually,
be cool.
you actually brought up a great point because I saw somewhere where they're making a game where the bosses can learn how you play, and so not only do you have to get
Oh, I
good,
saw that. Yeah,
yeah, but you have to get good and then also constantly get good while it's also getting good against you.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
that seems crazy. Like I know the craziest players will love that because it's like an anime episode where you're each like trying to learn each other's moves and one up each other. But like for the a casual player, like, are you kidding me? It's gonna be the most
Yeah,
hard game ever, bro. Harder than any Elden Ring, harder than any Dark Souls game. Because the boss is just gonna be like, oh, I
yeah,
know exactly how you're gonna come at me, so I'm gonna do these moves, and you're dead before you can even think about it. And that's gonna be crazy. Like I don't even.
yeah. It's interesting actually because so the one I saw is the other way around. So it's a game where you are the dungeon boss, and the player just keeps coming at you, but the player's getting stronger as time goes
Oh,
on.
that's cool. I like that.
And it like the player's learning from your moves, so you cannot like repeat the moves. So it's quite interesting.
I like.
It's kind of a roguelike. I think you're supposed to die at the end.
Yeah,
Uh, but that looked interesting. But
yeah,
I'm not sure how much replayability you'd have.
yeah.
You'd have different heroes coming. I don't know. I just saw it and thought it was cool.
No, it's gonna be interesting though if they actually do that because it's gonna make like a whole next generation of like hard players, like for gamers who are just gonna be so good at defeating bosses. Because now I've seen the craziest things. I've seen some person on Twitch who beat I think all the Dark Soul games without using any armor and without taking any damage each game.
Yeah, so
And I'm
I
like,
saw that. So
excuse
there was this
me?
one guy who did a speed run up to Dark Souls 3
Yeah.
without like no damage. Then after Elden Ring came out, he did it from Dark Souls 1 all the way to the end of Elden Ring. I think he did Sekiro as well.
What?
To be
That
fair,
game?
Sekiro is quite easy to do no
All
damage, and
right.
it's supposed to be played like that.
Okay, if you say so. I find that game really hard. Now, but like, think about it, that's wild. And so, like, they need a game like that where the boss will learn its moves and its
Yeah,
strategies, and then that's the next challenge: beating that type of game without taking damage. And then, like, whoever those players are, they're cracked. Get them on something else that's like, because they're obviously good at something. So who knows? Put them on like hacking or stopping hackers or solving like crypto challenges or solving like the next quantum like they could be solving something way more difficult and useful because whatever they're on, they're crazy good.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I like that though. I like the idea because I was talking to someone about that where I was like, hey, like if games start getting these AIs in them, like what is that gonna do for us? Is that gonna change the way we view games? Is it gonna be more like simulations now? People are gonna like create different like anime characters and then make them as bosses and then like have them like learn your moves. Like I don't know. It got really interesting to me. I was like, who knows where we're going with games now? What the
I
next
think,
Dark Souls genre?
yeah, I think the LLM idea for chatting though would be quite interesting. So it's like we already have some games that use your microphone for like basically Alien Isolation and the Quiet Place game. There are probably others
Oh
that like
yeah.
they're just checking if you're making a sound, so as to trigger some in-game events, basically make things try to kill you.
Hmm.
But you could also use voice chat with the NPC through an LLM.
Yeah.
Because you can do that with ChatGPT right now,
Exactly.
right? So how far are we from that being able to then trigger things in the game and then know? Of course, I'm not sure how you would make it so each it would have to know which NPC it's talking at in order to be able to then know what it can and can't say as well and what it should say. So should it be a different model? Should it be using a different database? Right. That's a different question, but probably.
Yeah. Because like imagine you talk to some NPC in like I don't know Horizon, God of War, and they talk and they have their like normal dialogue that was voiced by a voice actor and everything's great. But then the LLM will take the same voice and then like do other dialogue that just like wasn't really scripted, but it also flows with their character and like what they would say. And so that way,
Yeah.
every time you interact with this NPC, it feels like alive. You're like, oh, you're talking about something
Yeah.
totally new and different, and
It would
like,
solve another issue as well. You played Hogwarts Legacy, right?
yeah.
Did you play it? I'm not sure if they did it with the official game, but I know there was a mod to make it so the lady that speaks when you use the Flu Network does it
Oh, really?
because she always said the same thing every time.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't like that. Well, I didn't like
It's
honestly
a
a
way
lot
to
of the
solve that,
NPCs. I feel
right?
like they were all like generic, and like you could talk to them for a little
Mostly for
bit,
the
but then
world.
yeah, you go talk to them later, and you're like, well, you don't say nothing, or there's nothing going on around here. It's all just like
Yeah.
it's so sad
It's
because it's
nice to
like
be in Hogwarts, basically, right?
yeah.
That's the main reason I play the game. It's
Mhm.
a fun game. I mean, it
Oh
works
yeah, yeah,
well. I think they
definitely.
implemented the spellcasting mechanic
So well.
as good as it can be. Because, like, to be fair, it had to be within the lore, and the fact that there's a spell that literally just kills someone kind of makes it quite broken.
It does. That's why it made it hard for you to get. But once you got it, you start killing everyone, which was cool.
Yeah, but I mean, it has a cooldown. It is quite. I mean, if you go full dark arts like I did, you can do a lot of cool things.
I was
Because
tr-
it gets to this rhythm where you're basically casting one dark card spell every like rotation or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I basically was going to like I'm an evil player, but then I'm gonna learn my morals and morality later on, so I'll turn good with all the dark powers. And yeah, and I was a Hufflepuff. I was like, you're not gonna
Oh,
expect anything from me. I'm really nice.
oh no, I went all in Slytherin. I got really hooked into I don't know. I don't remember his
The
name. The
Sebastian? I think it's Sebastian.
Sebastian, yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
one that
crazy
has
what he
like
was doing.
his sister has a curse or something.
Yeah, so he's trying to heal it, and then I think it actually led to like a lot of bad things. And then the dad was like,
Yeah,
you're a monster." I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Rey Skywalker. She joined the joined Harry Potter. You're a monster." That's all she ever says. But yeah, I thought that actually that quest was really good, and I thought him like what was going on with him was cool because you would
I
meet
like the
in the
ones.
you would meet like this like secret room, and you meet this other like blonde haired Slytherin, and I think he also got hurt too because of what was happening.
The no, oh, so one of them is blind as well, right?
Yeah, the blind one actually, not blonde. Yeah, so there's a lot going on
Yeah,
there.
I like the one the side quest with the girl who goes after the like the poachers and stuff. That's a
Oh
fun one
yeah,
as
and you
well.
find the dragon egg, and you rescue
Yeah,
one. Yeah, she was from Gryffindor, I think, or was it
not.
Hufflepuff? Or who
I mean,
knows?
the game. Jesus, the game came out 2 years ago.
My bad. I know it's been a while. Damn, that's crazy. I remember I was just came out. I was
I
playing it like every
I
day.
played that game 2 years ago. I got my PC while I was playing the game.
Yeah, I remember all that.
Yeah,
Wow, dude, that's
great
crazy.
game.
It was, yeah. Now I'm playing AC Shadows, and I'm enjoying it. I know people are hating on it. Japan wants to sue them, and like, see, I don't understand. Like, I guess because they made it really destructive, which, to be honest, while playing it is really cool when you're like fighting a bunch of
Mhm.
people, and you just start seeing the walls come down because of all the chaos. But yeah, I guess like that wasn't a feature back then because games you couldn't break everything back then. And so now they're like, well, why all the old games? How come in Italy and in the Middle East and in the Americas you couldn't destroy everything, but now here we can destroy shrines? I was like, yeah, that's kind of a problem, right? Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. Which you would never think. You would never like. You just like, oh, cool, let's make things breakable. And now people are breaking shrines, and I get it because Japan is really like they really care about that stuff, especially when I went to go visit. Like, it's a huge deal, and the respect is a huge thing with Japan. So I can understand it.
And to be fair, a lot of tourists go there and like are completely
Yeah. So,
they
but yeah, who
break
would have
stuff
thought?
and they do that kind of thing.
Yeah. So now when you make games, man, and it's about like a cultural place and it's trying to be historical a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh, be
it's one of those.
cautious
You
about that.
either care about everything or you shouldn't care about anything. So you're either South Park and like offend everyone, because then you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it's clearly not targeted, because
yeah.
when it looks targeted, people are offended.
Yeah.
If it's like who cares?
I mean, their day one patch was let's make it not breakable, the shrine stuff, and the blood like doesn't splatter around those areas. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, all right, that's cool, because it will pass. This like wave of hate. I don't know. It is
Yeah.
fun. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's like Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla. So if
Mhm.
you like those games, you're gonna like it. It's the same old, same old. So I stopped playing a lot of Valhalla, but I played enough of it where I enjoyed it. I felt like I got the good amount of it. So like this game, I don't feel burnt out. Like I have a friend who put like so many hours into
Mhm.
Valhalla. He's like, I don't know if I want to play it. I'm like, bro, I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to play if I put 200 hours in. I'm basically playing the same game.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and
I
it's
think that's one thing people complain as well. Like even before all the controversies, like the issue with those games is they're kind of the same game.
yeah, how
It's like playing Call of Duty. Just
yeah,
uh, skip every other game,
yeah,
and you're good.
yeah. So the thing though is it is Japan, and I really like Japan. Being there is
Mhm.
cool because I'm walking through Osaka, Kyoto. I'm like I'm here back in the day, and then I was there in modern times. And the environment is beautiful. 10 out of 10. Like Valhalla was also beautiful, but I don't know. I really liked Odyssey, where it was like more of like the islands and just the tropical
Yeah.
environment, and that was beautiful. And Valhalla was a little bit like stale. I was like, oh, I just see trees everywhere, and like it's nice, but
Mhm.
and so this one's kind of the same, but like there's something about the colors. They really got down the colors a different way. The trees look,
Yeah.
the farmland, the big like mountains. So like I'm really loving it just for like walking around and riding my horse around and just being like, this is beautiful. I love this. And I think
But that's one thing about that part of the world as well. Like the colors are different. The trees are
so
so
beautiful.
different,
Hmm.
so it feels different, right?
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it. I'm not like trying. I've basically decided before buying this. I'm like, I'm not here to beat the game. if I do beat the game, cool. It's gonna be the typical Assassin's Creed story, and I'm gonna love it if I do beat it. And I hear it's shorter than Valhalla, but I'm just there to walk around. There's a beautiful environment and kill some things, and
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't got times. But apparently it's like 40 hours. Where like Valhalla, I played 80 hours and I still didn't beat the game. And I was like,
Mhm.
what else do you need me to do? How many more hours for this game do you need me to put in? Like, oh my gosh,
But do you rush the story though, or do you
no,
explore and do other things?
I explore.
That's a big deal as well. Like,
Yeah. Well, what's cool is like now in these games they have like a main story, but like part of the main story is killing these cultists, which are different in
mhm.
each game. The cultist was Odyssey. This one is like I think Cianuro. It's a specific name of people in Japan that I think if Japanese people would get it if they heard it. I'm just like that's cool. Um, and so they all have like one. There's the main guy, and he's got his main group, and then each main group I think has
Uh-huh.
their guys. And so I've killed a lot of people in the game without really trying to, just by exploring. And so it's cool because
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, I feel like I've completed some quests without even having like tried to complete them. So when I do encounter them in the main quest, I feel like as I start doing it more focused, it's gonna be like, oh, we did this mission, cool. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Like I
Mhm.
feel like I'm beating the game and but not trying to, and I like that.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like it because they feel like the story isn't linear and they're like, oh my god, I'm not following a certain path. But I don't know. Cutscenes come up when they do, and I feel like it's following a good flow as much as it can in a giant open world game. Because like I explored a lot already and put like maybe 10 hours, and I've only like been to the like first two areas of the map, and there's like 6 or 7 more, and it's decent size. It's like Origins big, so it's smaller than Valhalla and Odyssey, but it's still huge. It's still big.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like I've explored a lot, and yeah, I've only seen like 10, maybe 20% of the world in the game.
You
So
think it could benefit from having the Nemesis system?
or like having someone who is like coming after you and like
So the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor
I've never
and
played that. So what is
Shadowfar.
it like?
Really?
I know, I know. I played maybe like
Well, it's
5 minutes
patented,
at a
so it
friend's house.
can't be in there, which sucks. It, I can't believe they got away with patenting that, but different discussion.
Okay,
So the way it works is you interact with orcs, right? There's
yeah.
basically this hierarchy of orcs and Sauron's army and stuff, right?
Hmm.
And as you kill or fight, run away, or you could like get them on your side as well by doing like either mind controlling or actually getting them on your side. Uh, all of that makes it like the NPCs remember those interactions. But
Ooh,
like if
okay.
you run away from them, it will taunt you later on when you meet them again. Things like that. So it feels organic. And like I think it's a little procedurally generated because if you kill one, after a while another orc takes its place.
Yeah,
And I think it's infinite, so it's probably procedural.
which makes sense.
Basically, you can infiltrate the ranks and like you can mind control like a lower level orc and get them higher in the hierarchy by like killing their competition and stuff. And the orcs remember that, so it's like a cool mechanic, but legally speaking, you're not allowed to to replicate it.
I think it'd be great. I think it's they had like a system in Odyssey. I don't know if they have it in this one. I haven't experienced it yet. But like, yeah, you if you do kill a lot of people, like a lot of guards, they'd eventually send mercenaries after you. And
Mm-hmm.
so then, so like as you're walking around, people start noticing you and they come after you.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when you get the highest rank, like you're constantly being like no matter where you go, somebody's
Mm-hmm.
following you. Um, I think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be cool like if that actually happened and people had their guard up because there's sometimes they get in high situations and like it seems like they're like, oh, it's the first time I've seen you. I also think the stealth's way better in this game. They also have an option where you can like toggle on instant assassinations with the hidden blade, which is amazing. By having that on, it makes the game easier too because now you just assassinate the main target that's like the highest level. But it's also cool. Like that's the whole point of Assassin's Creed. You find it like an area on top of them, and you get down and then do an aerial assassination, and you kill them instantly. That's like as it used to be in the old games. So just that alone is making me enjoy this game like 10 times more. And but yeah, I think the emphasis thing would be cool. but no, they don't have it. Not that I know of. But yeah, I'm enjoying
And
that.
you mentioned a cool mechanic as well that does the whole um like mercenaries following you and things like that. Basically, a chaos system, right? As you are causing chaos,
Yeah.
things get chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how exactly. Does it actually impact the story in any way? Like if you're doing, let's say, I start the game now and just do side quests and cause a bunch of chaos, kill a bunch of people. When I get back to the main story, the main issue I see with a lot of games is when you do that, which tends to be my default behavior, I like to do side quests. I'm overpowered. And things I did feel like they don't actually matter because I don't know,
Hmm.
like killed a bunch of I killed monsters, I killed like death claws and stuff, like in Fallout, right? Saved a village, and then I get back and I have to like kill cockroaches. Like that's uh, that's quite weird. Like it happens with a lot of RPGs, right? The early quests are supposed to be simple and easy, but when they're a part of the story as well, you get back, you save like you did like the DLC and killed a god, and then you have to go back and do something basic, right?
Yeah, so it seems like. Yeah, no, it didn't. And I was gonna say maybe it had an implication with the Civil War, like it affected that, and so then the Civil War affected the story. But I wasn't sure if it did. Like I don't really remember. I just looked it up, and yeah, the Civil War had no changes to the main story. It just changed like the banners on the cities, whether it was
Mm-hmm.
Spartan or Athens, and yeah. So the only real like effect it had with the main story was the people in your crew, because essentially once you knocked, so you had to not kill them. You would, like the last move you did had to be like an unarmed attack or like a shove or like a Spartan
Mm-hmm.
kick, so they get knocked out, and then you can hire them, and then they go on your ship. And so like throughout the story, they're on your ship with you, and they're like hanging out, and you can see them sometimes in the cutscenes. But like that's
So
about
so
it.
you have a ship as well.
Yeah, yeah, the ship in Odyssey, it was actually really cool. And ship battles, and you needed that ship to get to all the different islands.
Mm-hmm.
And you had your crew and your squad on there, and you had like your top generals, which was like, and so usually it's the best mercenaries you found. So they would come after you, you knock them out, and you said, "All right, I can kill you now, or you could join me," and then they would join you. And so yeah, they it had no story, which is upsetting. Which I think it's hard because like stories are so
Yeah,
limited. But like, there's got to be a
yeah,
way. Maybe ChatGPT's type system, like LLMs, can help with
yeah.
that.
AI,
Yeah,
AI.
can help like mitigate the fact that everything takes so long, and it's just so much work to make all that come together. But it also
Yeah,
like,
I have a friend that's gotten into asking ChatGPT to write random short stories about like whatever topic, and they make sense.
does he use
It
like
feels
the
like
paid one, the free one?
I think it's free tier.
Okay, I would recommend like if you really cared about like to either get the paid one or get Grok 3 and then get the paid one, and then also like prompt
Yeah.
it a little
I
bit,
mean,
be like a master writer and take inspirations from like these poets, and then tell it to like those stories, and it's gonna be way better. It's gonna be less
yeah,
generic.
I mean, he's just doing it for fun, right? He just wants
Yeah.
like a wonky story about whatever, right? Like
Mm.
random economists falling in love in Venice or
What the
whatever.
heck? Maybe that could be a game or like a simulator. You just like you say, hey, I want like a story, and then it writes a story for you, but then it like animates it somehow, makes like a telltale story, and you play it out.
That would be cool. I mean, I thought of something. So I watched a video a while back. Just made me think of it. On most of the time when you're playing a game, right? The game has to have some sort of conflict, right? Some sort of something to stop your progress, and most of the time that is combat, some sort of combat, right? And I watched a video about non like aggressive mechanics that could also make a game. And I mean, to be fair, there is a reasonable amount of games that have something like that, especially recently, right? You have Overcooked, you have Guitar Hero back there, right? Any rhythm game, cooking game, The Sims, right? But
Love The
it's
Sims.
interesting that it's very hard to think of. ways to implement it. Not necessarily thinking of games now, but if you were to make a game where I don't know if you I mentioned like an economist falling in love, right? How do you make a game about that?
I you can make it like Detroit Become Human, like just like crazy stuff's happening in the Wall Street, and then person like runs out and like lost all their money and is about to like end it all, and then this girl runs like hits him as he's running out, and then they like meet and then they go on a date, and but like it happens, and then like maybe like she was like not paying attention because something was she found out like the Yakuza were after her, the mafia, and so then now you have to fight against them, and like it's gonna be like a Yakuza style game where you do like fights, and then you're just doing all this and like kind of like Detroit Become Human / Yakuza. You're fighting and you're making dialogue choices until the end when they all fall in
Yeah.
love and they fall in love and happily ever after, and they become like kung fu economist. I don't know. Let's see.
But it's always hard to think of that, right? Because like that's why like Guitar Hero was a gamble, right? Well, like looking back, it looks stupid, right? Like, it wasn't obviously going to be successful, right?
Hey,
And
but
because like
they did.
rhythm games weren't big in the West at that time. Well, they aren't anymore as well. Like, it's very niche now.
It's
But
such a shame. It came and it went.
yeah,
But
it's
Fortnite's trying
been
to bring it
great to
back.
learn the drum. Actually,
Yeah.
it's crazy because like Rock Band 3, I think, introduced Pro mode, and like with guitar, it's like a weird like MIDI guitar. It's a bit weird, but with drums, it's just an E drum kit. Just plug it in, and it. Well, you need an adapter to do it on the on a console, but it works really well. Uh, I mean, of course, if you're playing a song that uses more than the three toms you have, or more than the number of symbols you have in the controller, of course, it cannot simulate to that level. But like a regular like drum, a regular drummer is not gonna have more than like a crash and a rhyme, a cymbal, right? So it's usually quite accurate.
Hmm.
Um, Especially like the easier songs, the ones I'm playing right now, because like it's not just the getting used to playing the drums; it's the getting used to the UI, which has
Mm.
been quite interesting. Because so when you're playing with four pads, like you do with like regular mode, right?
Yeah.
You have the red on the left, and then all the way to the green on the right. When you add the symbols, the issue you have is that in the real drum kit, the yellow, which is your second note, is to the left because you're playing it up here.
What the heck?
And then your blue symbol is on top of your yellow tom,
Okay.
and your green symbol is on top of your blue tom. And then your green tom is to the side, right?
Okay.
But it's not
Interesting.
aligned, so it's a
Yeah.
little weird. Like you have because it's just the icon that's coming, right? The symbol icon, or like where a round icon. It's been. I mean, I started today, literally today. I got it. So it takes some getting used to,
You'll get there.
but it's nice to like learn an actual instrument. I mean, I also want to take some lessons and stuff, but it's nice that it feels like you're actually learning a real skill, which has been quite
That's
interesting.
really
It's
cool. That's
great
what.
exercise as well.
Yeah, that's what games can be sometimes. It's like learning. It just makes learning fun, and that's the whole
Yeah,
point.
no, it's insane. Like it's like a real drum. It's just plugged into the PC, and you're playing a
Yeah,
video game.
that's so cool. And actually, when you said earlier, it was more about not learning the drums, but more about learning the UI. Kind of feels like programming when it's like it's not about learning how to program, but it's learning a different syntax. I'm like, hey, it's similar.
Yeah, that's what I have a lot with Unreal because
Yeah.
I mean I've been using blueprints for the game
Blueprints are nice. The game
so
doesn't
much.
crash. When you use C++, it just crashes like crazy.
That's true. That's true.
I don't understand. I literally tested it one time. And I literally tried to do the most simple thing in C++, crashed. And I was like, I'm just gonna use blueprints forever. Never gonna touch C++. In fact, I feel like if I just made the decision like 10 years earlier, oh my goodness, I would have had some like small games come out. But no. All I saw was the Unity editor restarting over and over. I need like a. I think there's memes out there for it. Just breaks my heart.
I think the main issue is that with blueprints, it's not gonna if it's uncompilable, it just stops.
Yeah.
If you edit a C++ class and try to relaunch the project, it will sometimes just not launch at all.
Yeah. And you have to go into the code and fix it, and it's not guaranteed that it's gonna like relaunch after that.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I do now?
So you need to back it up a lot more.
Yeah, I'm glad
I mean,
I don't use it for the game I'm working on with my buddies, because
yeah.
that would be painful. Just no. Unity works when it has problems. It says it doesn't work. You fix it and it's fine. It's nice. It just works.
I like Unity.
I really
I
like it
really
too.
like Unity. But I wanted to try Unreal with the original idea, and it's
Yeah,
been working out great.
that's
I
good.
think I really liked that I got to a point where I just find mechanics in the actual game I have right now. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't call it a game. It's
Proof of concept, prototype,
like, yeah.
beta.
I mean, it's I had it's crazy. I had an epiphany like
Mm-hmm.
last week, I think, when I realized how I could make the game actually be a game.
Oh, okay.
So like
Can
the
you?
original idea I had was, well, you have spells, right? So you're a wizard. It's medieval, right? Of
Yeah.
course.
Sweet. Yeah.
But like you saw what I had there. I think when we did the last episode, I hadn't implemented the mechanic that things are colored according to the spells that can interact with them.
Yeah, that was smart. I like that.
But it felt very like it was neon, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look very medieval.
No, not at all. Actually, unless you wanted to
But
make it like a cyberpunk medieval game.
yeah, but then I realized, what if you're in space
Oh.
and you're locked in a spaceship?
Oh. Oh. I'm liking
And
that already.
then even like the default like color that you have for the ramps and the floor in Unreal with the default level,
Looks good for space.
it's like a spaceship.
You're like, it's all right here. I don't need to buy anything. It's right there for
Yeah,
me.
I don't need any assets.
Look at you being resourceful. All right. I like the way you think.
And like so the idea is you start locked in a cell. You have to do a puzzle without any spells or anything. You won't have access to spells to get out, and that would be like first. With that came the idea of having multiple levels in each puzzle. We have like the base puzzles, and you can do all of them in sequence, and that's like the whole story. And that's a game, right? And you're out. And that each one of them will give you like a bronze coin or something like that.
Yeah.
Then the next level, which is optional for all except the first one. I thought about that, so it actually teaches you that there are other levels.
Yeah, right? You need that. Like, is this just one game?
So
One level?
yeah, so you get the bronze one that gives you access to spells, and
Okay.
with the first spell you learn, you get the silver coin for that first puzzle, and then through that you get to the rest of the game. So basically, bronze is the only mandatory level except for the first puzzle. Then you have a gold and a platinum level, and those would be always using mechanics you haven't learned yet.
Ooh.
But it will be very apparent that there is something there.
Yeah, like there's gonna be more spells
There's like a
coming.
door that you don't know how to
Yeah.
interact with or whatever,
Hmm.
right? But when you learn how to interact with those objects, remember, you go back. and you will get the gold level. And platinum, my idea for platinum is basically complex puzzles and use whatever mechanics, probably the same as gold level.
Okay.
I was thinking bronze and silver use the same mechanic because the silver is more complex. Basically using it to its full potential. Then gold needs mechanics you learn later. And then when you go back, it will basically give you this gold thing. And then we can get platinum by just like going harder with the puzzle. Probably have more verticality and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I'm at.
I'm liking this. This sounds good. It's gonna be like what, like a 10-hour campaign, maybe less.
Uh, not sure. I'm thinking like 100 puzzles or something like that.
Wow, that's gonna be really good. Are you gonna do procedure generated? Or are you gonna design each 100
No,
puzzles?
I'll have to design them all, right? I'll
Yeah.
probably start with like 5 base puzzles, one for each basic mechanic,
Okay.
and then start filling the
So
gaps.
you really want to turn this into a game? Like this is the goal long term?
I mean, yeah, I mean the ideas are just coming, and I've been working in it, so I think it might actually come out.
All right, that's exciting. That's awesome, bro.
Like if I look at it's crazy. I'm looking at my list of tasks right now. I have one new task. Basically, all the tasks I have are either 2 bugs I found a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
which well, it's basically making sure that the disabling of the teleporting thing that I mentioned earlier actually works, because it didn't.
That's
With
annoying.
moving, it worked, but with
Yeah.
teleporting, it didn't. So I probably like I was in a rush. I just saved it and
Yeah,
pressed
makes
next.
sense.
Um, I mean, a lot of polishing, of course, like adjusting colors and like light levels. I want to actually make the spell selector work. Because
That should
currently it's
probably.
just like debug commands.
Yeah.
My idea is to use actual Norse runes for the spell symbols. I might use something different because now it's in space.
You can
Maybe
make it just like some
get something
alien
alien.
ruins. Yeah.
Yeah, alien would work really well. Something that feels alien. Might not be a spell book anymore, but I want the basically a book, but like maybe a tablet or whatever.
Yeah. Do
I want
tablet.
it to be I want the UI to be an actual object, like in Metro.
Okay. Like on your face, like in like the POV of
No, so
the.
like an actual object you're holding.
Okay.
When you go to like put spells, you move your hand up and you have the UI here. But if you just look down, it will still be down there. Just it's not going to be interactable. Uh, Outside of that, like plate, it's quite straightforward. You can just follow the Unreal C++ course. Uh,
Yes. I've done that course too many times. Bull and cow game over and over again. Oh my goodness. I kind of want to do it all
I
over
have
again.
a fun one that I'm not sure where to start, but I'm not going to be the first person doing it. There's probably going to be a guy somewhere. I want to have a wall uh, that only blocks you from one side. But the idea is I can have a wall here that I can cross, but I cannot go back, or I
Okay.
can have it turned sideways.
Oh,
I can
fancy.
jump in but not go out, or like I can fall but I cannot come back in, something like that.
Interesting.
So, like, especially having it be the roof makes it so I can have a puzzle that's about getting through it,
Yeah.
and then I'm just up there, right? And I don't need to worry about like
Hmm.
the rest. And it's interesting because it's something you just learn in the game because that's that whatever colored wall there. I can't go through, but I can come back from the other side. Will probably be a different color on each
Hmm.
side, right?
Interesting. I wonder how you're gonna do
So
that. It's gonna be cool.
I mean, we'll probably use some ray casting.
Yeah. So when you're deciding these tasks, like how's your like day look like when you do this? You get on, you're like, okay, what am I doing today? This task, and you just start working on it.
Yeah, so I basically look at my list of tasks, see the one that I want to work on, and just get going. Depends on how much time I have, right? If I have
You like
4 hours to kill,
yeah.
I'll get something bigger. Like the fade spell, I thought it would take a lot longer to implement. For instance, the teleport as well, right?
Hmm. And then
So
how does
I,
it look like?
I I did them all in a day, right?
Okay,
So I did fade, resize, and teleport in a day
sweet.
because I thought they would be a lot harder. Because like fading's super easy. I basically have 2 levels of fading. Three technically, one is just longer. Uh, the first level just reduces the alpha to 50% over time. So I delta time multiplied by
Yeah.
a constant that gets it to the speed I want it to. Then I think it waits for 1 second and fades back to 1. Then the second level goes to 0, and while it's faded out, I disable the collision because it's no longer there. And then there's a stronger version that it's just off for 5 seconds instead.
Okay.
It's quite straightforward. Resizing was interesting.
Really? That one was tough.
It's the math because like
Uh,
normally you would just go up and down, but with resizing, I had to save the default the initial size because
yeah.
what if I want to stretch it and stuff, right?
Hmm.
And it's always like the same base class. So I save that and then I multiply that by how much bigger it should be. It's two currently. It's 2 and 4, I think, or 1.5 and 2, something like that. So and then I just fade in and fade out. The issue I was having is that when the math I was doing to make it shrink, it was uh, so I did a max call to see if I had already reached the target size.
Yeah.
So it would always just go all to that level because like maybe one of the dimensions, some rounding errors would make it so it didn't get to. It got a little bit bigger, and the other one wasn't done yet, something like that. So I would get it fixed to the. If it was to get to the max size, it would just stop there. The issue is when you're shrinking, instead of doing max, I had to do min, or vice versa, actually, right? It's min when you're, uh, yeah, yeah, it's min when it's getting bigger, max when it's lower. So I had to, before I had a check on that, when it was shrinking, it was basically checking could it be 1.75 repeating
Yeah.
uh, times bigger than regular size, or should it be 1? What is the lowest value? 1. So it went all the way to 1 instantly.
Wow.
So it would get bigger, and then when I tried to shrink it, it would go back to normal instantly. One thing I wanted to implement to kind of add some rails there was I basically have 5 sizes, right? I have regular, I have half shrink, double shrink, half enlarge, double enlarge. When you are not in default size, you can only use the opposite spell, right? So if you half enlarge,
Yeah.
you cannot apply any variation of the spell other than half shrink, and then it goes back to the middle. It's
Oh.
easier to calculate. So it's not like otherwise I would have to calculate like oh if I enlarge it once and I double shrink, it would have to be like half shrink.
Yeah.
It adds a lot of
That is a
complexity,
lot of
and
complexity.
it was
You're
so gonna
like,
break.
no way are we doing that. Yeah, don't make it too hard. Easy wins. Get those easy
Yeah,
wins.
exactly. So it was quite interesting. I noticed I needed a lot of extra variables to check. Um,
Hey, but you did it.
I fixed some things with audio as well, and light especially, because like the default brightness of like the light spell was very low. Like you couldn't see anything. I added like some light posts because I couldn't be bothered to turn on the lights every time, but also because I wanted to be sure, basically be able to see in the editor how bright it would be while I was working on it. Uh, the coolest mechanic, actually, I just noticed it's not in my to-do list.
Oh no, we can't. How can you not have the
Uh,
coolest one?
it's in the design document, but it's not in the to-do list.
Mm, unacceptable.
Element light sensitive. There's the idea of having objects that are sensitive to light, and then they can uh, is appear. They can appear. Yeah, so basically objects that if there's light in them, if they're hit by light, they fade away, or objects that if they're hit by light, they appear. Right. So it's the idea that you could have move an object, maybe light something up to either be able to cross a wall that would disappear with the light, or cross a bridge that would appear with the light. Right. That's something that I implemented in Unity in 2016, so it's going to be interesting
Yeah, I can't wait
redoing
to
it.
see that in Unreal.
It used a lot of unoptimized
Blueprints.
raycasting.
Raycasting.
To be fair, it wasn't that bad
Okay.
because basically I did. I changed the density because it was very dense at the start. It was moving like 2 degrees. So it was every frame or every however many frames doing like 90 raycasts, and then doing that and the other because it was going top down, then left, right, and diagonally like 4 times, and then I lowered it a bit, but
Oh
it
my
wasn't
goodness.
ideal. Like it had to, it wasn't a real check. And I think there is a way to just check if there's light in an object because the shaders do that.
There's got to be, yeah. There's got to be some kind of like built-in tool or a tool you can download or something in the engine.
Yeah, because originally the original idea was not to make it so the entire object appears or disappears,
Yeah.
but to make it so only where the light touches it does that thing, right? So either only where the light touches the object and becomes solid, or becomes faded, right? So that was the original idea, but we're playing around with shaders for like a week and then gave up because
No, don't give up. No.
the issue was not making it invisible; it was also disabling the collision
Hmm. Isn't
or
that pretty
enabling
easy
the
though?
collision.
Just a trigger or just like something happens, you just say turn off collision?
Yeah, but it would have to disable or enable the collision only in that specific point
Oh, yeah, that could be a
in
little
the
hard
whole
to always
object.
activate.
Yeah, so it would be annoying. So I'll think I'll just do the original idea. It makes more sense anyway. You just have an object, shine some light on it, disappears, or
Yeah.
have like this empty thing, like this huge gap, turn on the light, bam, it's lighting up. It's a bridge now, right?
Okay.
That's one of the mechanics I have to implement. I'll see when I have time to do that, to
Okay,
be
yeah.
honest, because that's gonna take me like a couple days probably
I would love an
to
update in your
get up and
showcase.
running.
More like a part two where we
Oh
see it.
yeah, we'll 100% do that.
Yeah. And then I know my buddy wants
Uh,
to come on and talk about the game we've been working on.
yeah, we,
That'd
we
be
should do that
that'd
as
be
well.
cool. Get an interview back in. We haven't had that in a while.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's
And
always
didn't you
fun.
say you wanted
It's
someone to
nice.
come on, but they haven't got back to you yet?
Yeah, I need to check on that.
Yeah, we could plan that for May or June. Get some more. I know some of the fans probably missing that the interviews. They're like, "What are you guys rambling about each week?" I'm like, "Hey, this is how it started. First 20 episodes were us rambling.
Yeah,
So we're getting back into the swing of
crazy.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be nice to have some people over. It's been interesting because what helped a lot recently for me, at least in terms of gaming, is that I got back into gaming as a hobby
As development or?
one instead of wanting to be a hardcore esports or whatever,
Oh
right?
yeah, you're a casual player now. You're not a
Yeah,
hardcore
I
esport
started
player.
playing like I should in a healthy way.
There you
And
go.
that's been great.
Hey.
Playing games as a hobby
It,
instead of
it takes time.
thinking they're your life. It's been great. It's been great. It's helped me switch my mindset with
Good.
Magic as well. Because like, so when I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I played it very competitively. Like I went to
Gosh, of
huge
course.
events. Right.
Yeah.
I played in the national
That's
tournament.
wild. All right, so you had a reason for being there. You made it to nationals.
So it was. I mean, it wasn't very hard to make it to nationals. To be
Okay,
fair.
okay.
Uh,
I love that. I
so
noticed that. I give people
depending on the
compliments
continent
like it
in
wasn't that
Europe,
hard.
yeah. So when I was playing here in Europe, I think you just went was an open event. But if you got your invite yeah, no, it's like that in Brazil as well. But I always had the invite. So you either got the invite by playing regionals, or you had to pay. I don't remember how much it was. I never paid for it. But yeah, so that's how it used to work. But like I placed reasonably well, like top 64, things like that. With like 500 people, or yeah, things like that. It was fun. It was fun. It's been an interesting hobby, but it's so stressful and it's a lot of testing. And to be fair, I don't have the time to test like that much. Like to
Yeah, it
play
takes a while
tests
though.
enough to actually like compete at the highest level.
Hmm.
And to be fair, I don't feel like doing that anymore.
Yeah, who does?
And when I started playing Magic, that was my first idea. Like, oh yeah, I'll play competitive Magic, right? So I'll play the standard format, whatever, maybe tournaments. I'll learn about that. But the thing that actually saved me from that was the fact that people don't play standard where I live. People just play Commander, and that's fully casual. You just come in, get it, like get four people, let's play, have fun, right?
Hmm.
Let's chat. So that's been great here. Not having to, I would say having to worry. It's not, you don't have to worry, right? It's just not worrying about like placement in the tournament. Just we're hanging out, we're
Yeah, just
playing a
having a
game.
good
It's like playing
time.
D&D.
Exactly.
Like you're not playing D&D competitively. You're
No, you
doing
shouldn't.
that because you want to hang. It's to hang.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's been and that mindset also helped me with other things. Like now, well, I haven't played a lot of single player games. I mean,
Red Dead
I'm
2.
playing pro drums in Rock Band, right?
Okay.
But
But
it's
you're not
also
taking it too
different
seriously
because
though. You're just learning.
yeah, because when I played Guitar Hero growing up, I started playing on expert. I started getting competitive. I went to Guitar Hero tournaments back in the day
Oh
because
my
those things
goodness.
actually happened in the late
I didn't know there was
2000s,
Guitar Hero tournaments.
early 2010.
I'm pretty much assuming there's tournaments for everything. It's probably
Yeah,
tournaments for rock
I
paper
mean,
scissors.
yeah, I found out there was a world championship for Ragnarok Online. This MMO I played growing
Yeah.
up. Like, I think it died in like 2010,
There's like,
20. I mean, it still exists,
of
but
course it
like,
does. Because there's
wasn't.
always someone still cracked on it to
Yeah,
this day
I
until it
mean,
dies.
they're still releasing updates and stuff apparently,
Oh, that's amazing then. Of
like
course.
actually running. But I mean, was was those crazy Korean MMOs that you have to grind for like 500 hours to reach max level,
No.
and then you do a
No.
quest, you're reborn, and you have to do it again.
No, I don't like that. That's just that
Yeah,
to
it's
me is like
that
sucking the
level,
soul
that
of your
level.
life. No, not a fan.
Yeah.
In
So
fact, I feel like that should be our challenge for today. Is telling people to take a step back,
and
and
play
just
500 hours of
and
Korean.
and no, to do the exact opposite, and just enjoy whatever you're doing, whether it's learning something. Don't get too like hung up on it. What's playing a game? Learn to have fun. Just play the game. You know, just you don't need to be the best at everything, and don't need to do competitive, unless you know you want to. But
You're not Ash Ketchum.
yeah, you don't got to
That's
catch them all, or do them all, or finish them all.
yeah. By the way, is it actually over? I think it's over, right?
Huh? Pokemon?
Pokemon is over. The anime, yeah.
What?
I think it ended like last year.
We got to end it on that note. Let's find out. Did Ash Ketchum become a? What was his goal? To catch them all and become a Pokemon master?
Yeah, he won the Pokemon League in like 2020. It's no longer airing in the US.
Wow, he did it.
And
So he
original
actually,
network TV took, yeah.
Ash
Pokemon
Ketchum.
Series 2023. It ended in 2023.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's insane. It's a part of my life. Just we closing the door. I'm happy for him.
I
It took him so
also,
long.
yeah, and I also watched a video recently about Simpsons probably ending.
I mean,
They
that's that.
released an episode recently that was Bart's birthday.
Yeah.
So he turned 11.
No way. He never gets older, right? Like it's the same age.
And then,
Now.
like, yeah, so something happens and he wakes up on his 10th birthday. But it's like, it has a lot of meta jokes about, like, basically that, right? The fact that it's been 36 years.
Long time. And they
So
predicted a lot of future things somehow. So I think they're like, we got to wrap it up. They're catching on. Wow, 36 years. So we say goodbye to Simpsons. We say goodbye to Pokemon. Probably Simpsons is going to run around for another 4 years or something. They're going to reach that 40th and end it.
I mean, I really hope they just did it. It's so.
I do not watch The Simpsons. Probably in the last of my lifetime, I've probably seen like 10 episodes, and I enjoyed them, and I had a good time. But
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like The Simpsons.
And I watched the movie. I actually really liked the movie for some reason.
The movie, yeah. I watched it when it came out.
Yeah, it was good.
The one with Green Day.
Yeah, it was a good one. So, like, it's
That
there.
was a
I just
fun
don't go
one.
out of my way to watch it. It's there. So I like Family Guy. I love watching
South
Family
Park
Guy.
is a lot better. I think
know you like.
Family Guy is similar to The Simpsons. Like, it got a lot worse.
Oh yeah,
I really like the murder mystery arc. I think it's the end of the second season, something like that. The one where they go to this like manor house, a cliff, and like people start dying.
Is this Family Guy or Simpsons?
Family Guy.
I don't remember. Dang, I don't know. It's been a while.
I think I watched the first 3 seasons. Like, actually watched them. I did the same with Futurama.
Oh, I love Futurama.
I like American Dad as well, but I don't think
It's pretty good.
it's as bingeable.
No. But yeah, that's so sad. It's all ending. But yeah, guys, do the challenge. Just enjoy things.
Yeah, enjoy life. Your challenges, have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.